Hi everyone, welcome to this video on the different types of computers. It is impossible to imagine life without a computer nowadays. We do our work, entertain ourselves and find out what we need to know via computers. Sometimes we forget that the smartphone is just a palm-sized version of our desktop PC. While the term computer can apply to virtually any device that has a microprocessor in it, most people think of a computer as a device that receives input from a user through a mouse or a keyboard, process in some fashion and displays the results on a screen. The hardware and software within computers have evolved as a circuit snapping pace in the past few decades. The bulky desk crushing machine from the early 80s looks nothing like the featherweight touchscreen tablets of today. Compared to those of the late 20th century, today's modern computers are also a lot more interconnected thanks to the unrelenting sprawl of the internet and various web technologies, and this very connectedness has altered the computers themselves. Gone are now the days of dial-up modems that beat their way to text-based bulletin board systems. Now computers use Wi-Fi and broadband connections to blaze their way through multimedia content, from live streaming news to movies to multiplayer games and much more. There are a lot of terms used to describe different types of computers. Most of these words imply size, expected use or capability of the computer. Let's get started with the most obvious one. The personal computer defines a computer designed for general use by a single person. While an iMac is definitely a PC, most people relate to the acronym to computers that run on the Windows operating system instead. PCs were first known as microcomputers because they were complete computers but built on a smaller scale than the huge systems in use by most businesses. In 1981, iconic tech maker IBM unveiled the first PC, which relied on Microsoft's new operating system, MS-DOS, Microsoft Disk Operating System. Apple followed up in 1983 by creating Lisa, one of the first PCs with a GUI, graphical user interface. That's a fancy way of saying icons were visible on the screen, but that computer screens were really pretty plain. Along the way, critical components such as CPU, central processing unit, and RAM evolved at a breakneck pace, making computers faster and more efficient. In 1986, Compaq unleashed a 32-bit CPU on its 386 machines, and of course Intel grabbed a place in computer history in 1993 with its first Pentium processor. Now personal computers have touchscreens, all sorts of built-in connectivity like Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, and operating systems that morph by the day. So do the size and shapes of the machines themselves. Until the middle of the 1980s, consumers had one choice for a PC. It was a desktop format. These knee-knocking boxes were big enough to gouge your skins, equipped with large CRT cathode ray tube monitors. They crowded your home workspace or the office. The expectation with desktop systems were The expectations with desktop systems were that you would set the computer up in a permanent location. Many desktops offer more power, storage and versatility for less cost than their portable brethren, which was what made them go to the computer in the 1990s when laptops were still thousands of dollars. These days, desktops are much cheaper than they were 20 years ago, and you can have one for just a few $100s. That's a far cry from the thousands of dollars they cost in the 80s. In fact, one of Hewlett-Packard's first business PCs, the 300, cost $95,000 in 1972. Once upon a time, if you wanted to use a PC, you had to use a desktop. Engineers simply couldn't condense the sophisticated systems into a PC into a portable box. In the mid-1980s, though, many big computer manufacturers made a push to popularize laptop computers. Laptops are portable computers that integrate the display, keyboard and pointing device or trackball, processor, memory and hard drive, all in a battery operated package slightly larger than an average hand-cover book. The first true commercial laptop, though, was a far cry from the sleekly devices crowding retail shops today. The Osborne 1, released in 1981, sold for around $1,800, had a 64 kilobyte of memory and weighed about 24 pounds 10 kilograms. As it toned your biceps, the Osborne 1 also gave your eyes a workout, as the screen was just 5 inches. Fortunately, manufacturers quickly improved upon the look and feel of laptops. Just 2 years later, Radio Shack's TRS-80 Model 100 packed its components into a 4-pound frame, but it lacked power. By the end of the decade, NEC's ultralight smashed barriers by cramming real computing efficiency into the first true notebook. Netbooks are ultra-portable computers that are even smaller than traditional laptops. The extreme cost effectiveness of netbooks means they're cheaper than almost any brand new laptop you'll find at retail outlets. However, netbooks' internal components are less powerful than those in regular laptops. Netbooks first appeared in 2007, primarily as a means for accessing the internet and web-based applications, from email to music to movie streaming to web surfing. That's incredibly compact, but as a result, their specifications list often resembles a very stripped down laptop. They have small displays as small as 6 or 7 inches or 15 to 18 centimeters, little storage capacity, perhaps maxing out at 64 gigabytes, and sometimes skimp or and altogether skip data ports like USB or HDMI that traditional laptops wield. A lot of netbooks come from small manufacturers, as the big guns can't be bothered with the low profit margins of these cheap machines, but they have relatively sluggish processors and little memory. Netbooks can't do the heavy lifting for graphics applications or hardcore games. Instead, they're best for the task that gives them their name: web surfing. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there for this video. So please like and subscribe.